It's kind of interesting, the kind of things that stick in your head, and you can become an old lady and you still remember it. Sure, you got a couple of those memories yourself. The one I have is I was sitting in the back seat of the car and my mother was in the front seat of the car, and I said, "Mama, who is that talking in my head?" And being the good Baptist woman that she was, she grabbed the opportunity to tell me that it was my conscience. She was wrong, as so many parents are when they give their children knee-jerk default time to do a lesson response. But I've always remembered it, and I've remembered it because she wasn't completely wrong. It was a human consciousness. It is the voice in my head, in your head, in humans' head that is interpreting and defining and measuring our reality. And our reality, until it's not, is going through the filter of our eyesight and our emotions and our bodily response for safety. So then the voice in the head becomes alerts, and the voice in the head becomes limitations, and the voice in the head becomes incorrect, way incorrect definition of your environment and the interpretation of your experience. And then you go to kindergarten. Then you go to first grade. And there you are on the conveyor belt of believing what's inside your head as proof of reality. And then usually, right now, where we're living in this day and time, a lot of human beings, when they hit their between 30 and 35, have had enough time on this earth to question some of their assumptions and some of their conditioning and some of their programming. And it's a hard road in the very beginning. It's just hard because once you start discovering that everything that you were taught, pretty much everything you were taught, was given to you by a generation of humans who had not examined it. And they got it from the previous generation of humans that did not examine it. And some truth breaks through, and some true realities break through, but for the most part, humans are given cautionary tales. You want to become an artist? You're never going to make any money at that. You want to become a writer? You're never going to make any money at that. You want to go outside the box? Oh, that's going to be rough. Now, that was my generation. What we're seeing now is because of COVID and because of technology, this generation of human beings, though they still have, of course, a lot of the same struggle. They still have a lot of undoing of limitations and programming conditioning, but I want to say they've had some waymakers in front of them. Just saying. We've made the way a little bit, and we've asked them to re-examine, and they've been willing to do, because pain turns into suffering, and suffering turns into more suffering. So this generation is doing things differently, but they still have a lot of the same challenges. The main challenge is that information that's in my head. Whose is it? That information in my head, the thoughts that I'm having, are they regurgitation of my cultural influence? My tall people, I call the parents or the caretakers tall people. The tall people's fears, the tall people's limitations, the tall people's need to control, i.e. keep you safe. And so then the process begins. And there is a quickening right now, but it still takes time. And if you think that when you have to keep going back to the same thing over and over is proof of your unworthiness, there's the work. If you have to keep going back, which we all do, circling back to, God, is this still here? And you pick up the whip, there's the work. If you pick up judgment, if you pick up what they used to call shooting on yourself, if you pick that up, there's the work. That's the information. That's the invitation. And then when we get through that and we recognize the pattern, again, you got to get a little bit older so you can recognize the pattern. Good news, bad news. There's no bad news. When you recognize the pattern, and you recognize that when you have to revisit something over and over and that it has nothing to do with your worth, now you're going to get somewhere. Now there's going to be more breakthroughs. It's inevitable. It is just the law of love. It's just the law of life. It's inevitable. And when you start seeing the patterns through the filter of compassion, when you start seeing the patterns through the filter of self-acceptance, you become more loyal to your authority of trusting yourself. You become more loyal to the authority of self-compassion. And now you've regained yourself, the real you, more and more and more and more every single day. And now you're going to taste freedom. Now you're going to move into what your soul came here to experience. We get to have the goodies, people. We get to have the goodies. And it requires that we heal the programming, and it requires that we heal the conditioning, and it requires that when we pick up the whip, we drop the whip. And it requires that we stop beating ourselves up for not getting it quick enough, deep enough. That voice in our heads becomes a friend that can be trusted, a friend that can interpret correctly, a friend who's on our side, a friend who has gained wisdom from all of the mistakes, from all of the missteps, from all of the miscalculations, from all of the recognition of fear, the times when we wanted to jump and couldn't, the times when we jumped a little bit but then scurry back into safety in the known. All of those, all of it. We need all of it. I don't know where humans got the idea that we can just jump from I suck to I'm magnificent without the process of undoing I suck. It has to be done. It has to be looked at. And in that looking, our soul expands. Our soul evolves. Our soul matures. And in this lifetime, there's a potential for an expansion that you would not have ever even imagined. I'm living that, and I'll tell you, I am going to live it more. And I'll be 68. Leo, reformed Leo. Take what you can from this, leave the rest. One of these days I'm going to do something other than talking head, but maybe not. For those of you who can benefit from it, please do. If any of this doesn't work, toss it. But it was made from love, and it was made from my own hard knocks, and it was made from my soul this lifetime saying yes in a way that any other lifetime it was impossible. And I think a lot of you are in the same place. I'll see you next time.